Tonight, you're going to turn off the lights on purpose. You're going to sit in the dark, press play, and let something try to scare you. Your heart will pound. Your palms will sweat. And when it's over, you're going to smile. That should not make sense. But the real answer is far stranger than you just like being scared. Your brain was never built for entertainment. It was built for survival. Every system inside your skull exists because it once kept an ancestor of yours alive long enough to have children. So why would a survival machine pay money to feel terror on purpose? Here's the first clue. Fear isn't actually one feeling. It's a switch. Your amygdala, a small almond-shaped cluster deep in your brain, flips that switch the instant it detects a threat. Heart rate spikes, muscles tense, blood rushes to your limbs. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping this exact circuit, and what he found changed how we understand fear itself. The amygdala doesn't wait for you to think. It reacts before your conscious mind even knows what happened. You jump at the shadow before you register it's just a coat on a hook. That's useful in a dark forest. But you're not in a forest. You're on your couch. So what is actually happening when the switch flips and there's no real danger behind it? This is where it gets interesting. Sociologist Margie Kerr spent years studying fear from the inside, wiring up visitors at one of the most intense haunted attractions in the country and tracking their heart rates in real time. What she found wasn't just fear. It was fear followed, almost immediately, by relief. And that relief is chemical. The moment your brain realizes the threat wasn't real, it floods your system with dopamine, the same molecule tied to reward and pleasure. You didn't just survive a threat. You got a prize for surviving one that was never real to begin with. Think about what that means. Your brain built an entire reward system around a lie it told itself. Researcher Mark Malmdorf Anderson, who studies what scientists call recreational fear, found something even stranger. People who enjoy horror the most aren't the ones who feel the least afraid. They're the ones who feel real fear, but stay just close enough to their comfort zone to recover quickly. Anderson calls it the sweet spot. Too safe, and there's no thrill. Too real, and there's no fun left, only trauma. Your brain isn't looking to avoid fear. It's looking to practice it. Practice for what, though? Here's the part almost nobody thinks about. For most of human history, danger wasn't something you watched. It was something you survived or didn't. There was no controlled way to rehearse a predator attack, a stalking enemy, or a fatal mistake in the dark. Every real threat carried real stakes. A single miscalculation could end a life before it ever became a lesson. Around the fire, someone would tell you about the beast at the edge of the camp, about the hunter who didn't come back, about the sound in the trees that turned out to be nothing, and the one time it wasn't nothing. You'd feel your pulse rise listening. Your body would rehearse the danger without your life ever being on the line. That's not a coincidence. That's a training simulator, built out of language thousands of years before anyone had a word for simulation. A horror movie is that same fire, just with better lighting. When you watch a character walk toward a door they shouldn't open, your brain doesn't fully separate you from them. Mirror neuron research has shown that watching someone in danger activates overlapping regions to actually being in danger yourself, just with the volume turned down. You're not just observing the character's fear. You're borrowing it, rehearsing it, filing it away in case you ever need it. And you might need it more than you think. Fear isn't just about monsters. It's about uncertainty, about not knowing what's behind the door, around the corner, inside the silence. Every horror film is, underneath the blood and the score, a machine for practicing the unknown. That explains why the genre hasn't gone anywhere in over 100 years of cinema. It's not a trend. It's a rehearsal room your brain keeps booking because the lesson never stops being useful. Something new will always be uncertain. Something new will always require you to sit with fear long enough to see if it's real. There's a twist most people miss, though. The scarier a movie gets, the safer you actually are while watching it. You know, somewhere in the back of your mind, that you can pause it. Walk away. Turn on the lights. That single fact, the knowledge of an exit, is what separates a thrill from a trauma. Anderson's research found that people who felt more in control of the experience, that enjoyed the fear more, not less. The switch only feels good when you know you're the one holding it. So when the credits roll and your heart is still going, and you catch yourself grinning in the dark, that's not a malfunction. That's your ancestors' training program completing successfully. You practiced fear. You survived it. Your brain rewarded you exactly the way it was designed to, going back further than any camera, any screen, any fire. Which means the next time you flip off the lights and press play, you're not really doing something modern at all. You're doing something ancient, dressed up in surround sound. You're sitting at the edge of the firelight, letting a story carry the danger so your body never has to. And when the lights come back on and the fear drains out of you like water through your fingers, you'll feel it. That strange, specific relief that only comes from having been afraid and having been wrong. That feeling has a name now. But your ancestors felt it first, long before anyone thought to write it down. Tonight, when you turn off the lights on purpose, you're not just watching a movie. You're keeping a promise your brain made to itself a very long time ago.